It's in the auditorium with the administrators.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
and the silence. Thank you. Welcome everyone to Chelsea Troy Township School Corporation regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees, Tuesday, February the 10th. Roll call, all members are present. Adoption of the agenda, Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to adopt the agenda.
Thank you, Ross. Any discussion? If there is none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Reports, William Tell Elementary.
We had our winter carnival this past Saturday. Had a really great turnout. We raised about $2,000 and that money goes back to our PTO. So that'll go back to our student field trips and things that we do for our staff and students. So that was a big deal. It was about $85 more than we made last year. So take that. We had games, snacks. We did a silent auction, and we even had it was like a mobile Build-A-Bear come out, and they were called Universal Mobile Bear, and students could build their own animal and stuff it, and it was a big hit. So it was really cool. I do want to take a second and brag on our student council. It is led by our 6th grade teacher, Mr. Bryce Birchler. They have worked concessions at all the ball games. They volunteered their time at our winter carnival, and they've been helping do some things around the building, like judging our door decorating contest. So he's done a great job with that. And I'm going to try to get them to come speak to you guys soon, just so you can see some of the cool things that they're doing. Admin attended a virtual public agency rep training that was led by the co-op. We did that on one of the snow days that we were off. And it just really helped further our knowledge of what is expected of us and our roles in special education meetings. So we feel like we have a better knowledge base of that. That is all.
Thank you. Are you filling
That's great timing. Am I up? You're up. Perfect. Awesome.
What, did you sit outside?
No, I was in the auditorium. Ross jumped out and I jumped out. Okay, real quick, I'm going to share with you. Ross already got a copy. But this is essentially what we're meeting right now in the auditorium about with all the 8th grade parents, and then here in just a minute with all the 9th grade parents. This is a kind of quick one pager that goes through the new Indiana diploma. We've talked just very shortly about this in the past, but it's also something I do think as we're getting more and more parents that are having their kids go through this. I'm not saying that you guys are expected to know all the answers, but I want you also to understand, like, you may get questions about this, like, what should my kid be doing? What do you guys think? Please send them our direction. That's what we're here for. Just like we told the families in there, like, we work for these parents. That's our job, is to inform the parents, help the parents, make sure that the kids and everybody is feeling comfortable about their situation as they go through their 4 years with us. A couple of quick changes I want to make sure everybody knows, in case it ever comes to you. And these are some of the changes that we talked about with our families in there. Number one, we are slowly in the state of Indiana moving away from economics as a required course, and we're going to replace that with what's called personal finance. I'm a huge believer in that change. I do think every kid should be taking a class that tells them how to budget money, how to handle money, how to prepare for their future. I think it's a great move. Another big one that's on there is the requirement for computer science that we've started. I shouldn't say we, I'm sorry, the state has started. We've already started to implement in-house as well. We just want to give them some of the basics because there are so many aspects of not just the manufacturing, but the greater industrial world that is starting to use some of the robotics that we're starting to see. We want to give our kids a little bit of a leg up on that. One of our slides that we showed in there, and I stand by this every time I show this to our families, Indiana was very proud of themselves for showing that 5% of their graduates in the state of Indiana graduate with some type of a certification. It's awesome. Great. 1 out of 20. Fantastic. Indiana. Tell City, we're over 50%. Like, our kids are pushing the envelope on these. We've been way ahead of that curve down here in Southern Indiana and our neck of the woods for a while. We've got great partnerships with people in the area. We've got great internships set up with people. Like, we are very fortunate. We know we're fortunate, and we've taken advantage of it. And we make sure our kids have something when they walk out of here so that they're ready for the next step. The biggest shift that you're going to see with this whole thing philosophically philosophically, right? It's about 10 years ago, we told every kid when they walked into high school that they're going to college. You're going to college, and you're going to college, and you're going to a four-year school. Everybody's going to four-year schools, but we don't need that. We really don't. Our economy doesn't need it. Our business sector doesn't need it. We need kids doing a multitude of things. And we've kind of realized that over time. There are a ton of people in our community that didn't go to a four-year college, and they're killing it. And our kids are seeing that. Our families see it. And so we're trying to find what is going to be relevant to you. And that's what we want to get you ready for in the next one. Is it because you want to go to college? Maybe it's a two-year college. Maybe it's a junior college. Maybe it's a trade school. Do you want to go straight to the workforce? If so, how can we get you ready? What certifications can we get you before you walk out the door? If you want to go in the military, we want to make sure that you're ready for that too. And we've got certain courses that we're going to implement to make sure that that's successful for you. So some of those things have changed. We're adapting to it as well. I do, and credit to Lisa and Amy and Laura Purcell. We're way ahead of the curve. We've been ahead of the curve. But we want to stay ahead of the curve. We want to make sure that we're way ahead of everybody else in the area on these things. Again, not that you're going to get questions about these, but if you do, send them our way. That's what we're here for. That's we want to be a part of those solutions and answers for those families. So that's about all I got. I got to get back over there, but I nailed that time. I felt really good about it. Yeah, so thanks. That's all I got. Any questions?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Report from the County Redevelopment Commission. Last week, the Redevelopment Commission, commissioners, council were all invited to Wapaka and kind of get to learn a little bit more about what their intentions are in the future, listening, what their needs are, and as a redevelopment committee, I found it quite interesting to hear what they need and where they think they're headed. Tomorrow night, the redevelopment commission will meet for a reorganization meeting. The first one was snowed out, schedule snafus, and anyway, that redevelopment commission will meet tomorrow. That's all I have on that.
Did Wapaka give you any idea of what their future plans are, if the expansion plan or in Perry County or anything?
Yes, we did. Not at liberty to talk. Thanks for asking. No, you're as curious as I was.
Bring it up, I can't talk about it.
Communications for public,
None.
Consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
The motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Thank you, Larry. Does anybody have any discussions on the consent agenda?
As an FYI on the claim docket and at the recommendation of the auditors, when you go up and sign, you're used to signing 3 financial documents. You'll now see 5 because we've rolled the cafeteria and our ECA accounts into the corporation accounts. That's per the changes they've made. So now instead of 3 signatures, I need 5 from you. And also up there are the appropriations from January where we had permission to pay the bills. So you'll get there's a full spreadsheet up there too for you to look at if you want to see that too. So lots of financials to sign, but just as an FYI.
And ECA is going to be quite the top.
Yeah. The ECAs is where money changes hands, and that's where a lot of the things get caught. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that, or didn't worry about that. And they are just now starting the individual ECA audits at each building. So the money that is kept here at the high school at William Tell, they're going to audit those things as well too. But I'm not worried about those either. They do a nice job with both buildings. So
How do you feel about some of these schools doing debit cards or credit cards only to stop cash flow? I mean, it's getting to be a trend. I'm not in favor of it, but
I'm not a huge supporter of it. We have a large portion of our community that wants to use cash, that only uses cash, that doesn't know how to use a smartphone to scan an app and do those kinds of things. And I think we ostracize them if we say we're only going to take those kinds of tickets. That said, I know the IHSA has pushed online tickets. We don't really have a choice for like sectionals and things like that.
One of our problems is going to be internet connectivity at our facilities.
Yep.
That and the added cost, every time they swipe, there's got to be a
3%.
charge,
Yep.
so that's going to have to be passed on.
you know, mom and dad happen to give their debit card to their 12-year-old.
People are much better off if they just buy an all sports pass and knock it out with one fell swoop.
That's pretty good. Just about it. Is going to this, not just for tickets,
Right.
concession stand. I mean, I went to a college
Yeah.
football game and college baseball game. You could not use cash at
Yes, there are a lot of places.
That's
that-
wise,
Mhm.
cash.
Mhm. And it is cash is where money gets lost in the transition.
There's some bill, I forget who was passed, so that won't happen, but to make
Yes, to
everybody
mandate.
have to accept cash, I mean, it's supposed to
Yes.
be legal tender, and
I don't know where that is either. I do know the law you're talking about or the bill you're talking about, but I haven't seen where it's gone or how it's gone. But yeah, there was a bill that was pushed forward in the Indiana Senate to mandate that cash has to be an option. I don't know. Yeah.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0. Old business, none. New business.
Who made the motion?
Larry,
Okay, sorry. I didn't catch that one. Thank you.
you're welcome. William Tell Elementary.
At William Tell, we have a couple of program assistants to recommend in Carter Young and Jordan Parrott, and an adult on-target supervisor in Jaslyn McMahon. Carter and Jaslyn both have their background checks completed. Jordan is halfway done. We're still waiting on the CPI, so we recommend that one conditionally upon receipt of that.
I have a motion.
Make a motion to accept these additional background check.
Gary. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 5-0. Tell City Junior Senior High School.
The high school has no recommendations tonight.
Athletics.
Athletics, we have several coaches to recommend tonight. Adriana Corso as junior high boys assistant track coach, volunteer assistant boys varsity baseball coach, Asai Uchimura, Justin Angel, Scott Sandage, Max Fortwindle, DeAndre Jacobs, Talon Jennings, Trevor Jennings, Mark Kellums, Steve Bennett, assistant boys varsity baseball coaches, Braden Stowe and Abe Bartlett, junior high football coaches Steve Kirtley and Jason Shadwick, and volunteer boys assistant golf coach and Caleb Malcolmson. So the ones that are not highlighted, we have their full background checks. If they're red, they've started it, but they haven't finished it, so we're still waiting on those ECPIs. And yellow, as of today, have not completed. So I need conditional upon their completion. Those folks know they cannot start working with the coaches until they're done.
I have a motion.
I make a motion to accept all these coaches as a group pending completion of the background checks, and that's what you don't have yet.
Okay, any other discussion on the coaches?
Really good group of the baseball assistant coaches he's getting, several current and former college players, and Steve Bennett was the former head coach at Townsend, won a sectional there with this one class, so pretty good group of people he's assembling.
It's a lot of assistants.
They won't all be there all the time, but obviously.
I would wager not.
I mean, of course, the college baseball season gets over by like May 1st or something. So some of these current college players will be able to help out down the
Right.
stretch, which will be helpful.
Anything else? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 5-0. Award of lawn care contract.
Last month, we received the bid from Excel Lawn. I reviewed it. It's identical to the first bid they submitted, so it continues to be a good service at a great value. And I recommend that we approve Taylor for the 26 and 27 mowing season.
I have a motion.
For 2 years at one time.
Yes, we've always done a 2-year roll on our lawn mowing.
I'll make a motion to approve the award of lawn care.
Thank you.
Might get their yard mown for free.
No, I did not. I did not get my yard mowed for free.
Okay, just check. Thank you. And all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 5. You gotta make one.
So glad we live streamed.
Oh, permission to allocate funds from rainy day to marketing.
So last month, Mrs. Webb came in for the high school and presented some of the things the students are doing with the marketing class that she's in charge of. And after she had spoken with you, I kind of told her to be careful what she asked for because I might just hold her to it. So she set up a presentation, invited me over to the high school and went through her plans. And she's got a lot. So I want to put the school's money where her mouth is. She wants to set up a marksman shop, and I want to give her this $25,000 as seed money to set up the shop. She needs to buy some equipment. She needs to buy some shirts. She wants to buy some shelves and actually set up a physical storefront in the building that she could sell marksman shirts. So we can do fundraisers. So if soccer is doing a fundraiser, say, I need these shirts. Our kids can print them, make them. They'll make some money. Soccer makes some money. It all stays in-house. It's going to be small starting off. The money would stay in there, and then they would invest in newer, bigger, and better things. She's got designs on 3D printers. We've got a plasma cutter down with Glenn Goffnet. And the idea here is once this store gets its feet underneath it, then we could be selling marksman pottery. We could be selling metal yard signs that are laser cut by Glenn Goffnet's class. But we got to start somewhere. So I'm asking for permission to allocate $25,000 from the rainy day fund to support and start this venture.
What part of the building with this physical service?
So in the gym or in the cafeteria, right next to the concession stand, there's that little hole in the wall where we've got a trainer's table and that's where she wants to go. That way the kids would have access to it at lunch, and then we could open it up during home events.
Have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the allocating funds from any marketing for the marketing.
And John, when do they plan on setting it up? As soon as they can.
I would imagine she's just waiting on me to say go.
So it may be up and running by the end of the school year.
Well, if I know Sarah, she'll have something going by the end of the school year.
It would be nice if, starting with that seed money as business people, we could see where they're at 1 year from now.
Yep. We'll have her put on the agenda then, and we'll bring her in and have her present again.
It would be interesting.
It would be great, actual hands-on experience for the kids in marketing.
It's like Chris said, we need to be on the front end of these kinds of things, and marketing and business management and things like that are things that our little entrepreneurs can go out and do. So we can kind of help them here, and then they can go out and do it later.
Do you know of any other local schools doing this?
There are some schools that have a shop or a class that does little things. I don't know that anybody has got the scale that I think she's proposing. So,
Anything else? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Support staff handbook updates.
the support staff handbook, we have two corrections. One is on the hours for the instructional group 2. They work an 8-hour day, but it's 7 hours, and it says 8 hours on the contract, but it's a 7-hour with a 1-hour paid lunch for lunch. And then we have recently hired a special education bus driver, and that is a 260-day position. We've always kept that one flexible. So the bus driver could either work just when kids were in session, or if they work full year, then they can serve as custodian over the summer and help with cleaning floors and things like that. So we need to update that one to 260 because the bus driver that we just hired does want to work through the summer and help the custodial staff. She is here, she's licensed, and she is driving as of last week. So we're very happy to have her on board.
What did we have before, 180?
Yeah, the previous driver didn't want to work over the summer, so she only got paid for those 180 days.
Or maybe basically a full-time job.
Correct.
And I'm assuming, since it's going to 260 days, that includes benefits.
Correct. Mm-hmm. The 183 day one included benefits also, though, because it was a 40-hour week, and that qualified based on the amount of time that was worked. But this one will just be full year.
Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to approve the support staff handbook update.
There's no other discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 5-0. College visit permission.
Ms. Hayes is requesting permission to take 13 of our students to OCU on February the 23rd. This is paid out of the OCU Career and College Directions Program, and the kiddos will be back at the end of the day. We ask for your permission on that trip.
So these are all students who have indicated interest in going to Oakland City and maybe already been applied or.
Correct.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the college visit.
Thank you, Ross. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 5-0. CD rates.
We have solicited CD rates from local entities, as we discussed last month. You can see them here, 3.77 at GAB with no penalties. Here's Heights, sorry, 3.25 with no penalties. Fifth Third, 2.96. There are penalties for early withdrawal there. And ONB, 3.69 with a penalty of 6 months interest. So I'm recommending that we deposit $1 million of our rainy day fund into a German American bank CD.
I have a motion.
I make a motion, we approve the German American Bank for CD.
Thank you, Larry. Any discussion?
Just in case something does come up, it's kind of nice to have no penalties.
Correct.
And to have the highest rate and no penalties.
Correct.
No brainer too.
And to be fair, the interest that we made off the last time we did this is going to pay for that 25 grand we're giving Sarah. So that's not money that came from rainy day or education fund. That's interest money that we made off of putting this much money back. So it's a good way.
Is that kind of the most you feel comfortable going with? Is it really?
It leaves us a lot liquid that we can do stuff with if we have something come up. But yeah, that's actually, we used to do 750. I upped it to $1 million this year.
It was last year. I would say.
Yeah, we did 750 last year. This is the first year we've done $1 million. But the no penalty for early withdrawal makes it easier to stomach.
That's
Yeah.
quite a bit of extra interest you'll get.
Absolutely.
Extra 50,000.
Absolutely.
Larry made a motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The motion carries 5-0. Update on TAG.
This year, the teacher appreciation grant was very different than it has been in the past. The state established 3 tiers, and they assigned a dollar amount, and we couldn't change that. So it was $3,500, $5,000, and $7,500 for tier 1, 2, and 3 respectively. And they gave you the qualifying stuff. We shared that with our teachers, and we had to then go through the teachers that applied for the grant based on what they submitted. The administration and I reviewed every application and selected the ones that we felt best fit those specific tiers. We only looked at tier 1 because we could give 14, 13 teachers tier 1 money. If we got above that, it dropped the number of teachers substantially because they had to get $5,000 or $7,500. So we wanted to give as much people the money as possible, as many people the money possible.
So we're giving 14.
Yes,
How many do we have applied?
30. So in true fashion, we were originally allowed to do 18, but the state didn't allocate enough money for that, so we had to drop it to make sure. So 14 was the number. We have not announced who those people are because the state has not approved our list yet, but I have shared that with you in this in your packets who we have recommended, and based on what they had submitted. And we've got all those back in a packet, so if the state comes back and says, please prove this, those kinds of things. But I'm looking for that money to come in the next couple of weeks, so I need to make sure it's okay to disperse it. You know, the auditors like to see board action. So I'm asking for your permission to disperse the money to the teachers referenced in this TAG grant, and I will notify them as soon as the state approves them. Because just because we've approved them doesn't mean the state will. It's a first year for this, and nobody really knows what to expect, to be honest.
So you guys, the principals, picked out based on the applicants and turned it over to the state. What is the state going to do to judge what you guys chose? Because they don't know any of our teachers.
The spreadsheet you've got is the only information the state asked for. So that in that packet that shows the SPN, the tier, and then the assessment type that they used, that's the only information the state asked for.
So then it should be basically automatic that they're going to accept the ones.
That's my assumption, but I don't know that for a fact, and that's why we've not released anything at this point.
That's kind of the opposite of home rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
right?
Yeah, tag last year, remember, we got about the same amount of money. It's always right around $40,000 that we get based on our teachers. It used to be that you had to discriminate 25% between highly effective and ineffective. So effective teachers got $100, highly effective got $125. That's all gone. And they said that you can only do 20% of your staff. That's where the number 18 came from. And that you had to give in the amounts they've established, 35,500 and 7,500. That's in law, actually. So you can't change it even if you guys came in and said to.
So they said you could do 20% of your staff, which was 18, and then they come back and say, we don't have money for that, so we're gonna have to cut it to 14.
Correct. Yeah, they couldn't fund 18, so they gave us that amount of money and you couldn't change the amount. So we divided the 40,000 and change we got by 3,500 and it was 14. That's what we did. It was something. I would like to say thank you to the admin. They put a lot of work into it. Thank you to the teachers that applied. There were very good detailed submissions. So we'll see. I don't know what to say yet, so that's where I'm at.
I have a motion.
Make a motion to approve the payment for tags to identify.
Good discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
SEAC Cooperative Purchase Agreement.
Up next is the Cooperative Purchasing Agreement and membership for the SIEC. This is the Southern Indiana Educational Cooperative. And we use them for a lot of things. They offer us teacher training. When Dana Summershine moved over to be a mentor for the other teachers on literacy, they provided like a mentor for her. So a lot of it is training based and teacher based, but they also help with like book caravans when we have to do adoptions and things like that. And they are now getting into the business of cooperative purchasing for food, for paper, for supplies for schools, with the idea that then I don't have to put out bids and RFPs and all those things because they've already done it. They've established that it's the lowest rate and we just have to say we want that, we pick this. It's one more place we can get food and supplies. But part of that is the board needs to approve our membership. So I'm asking for your approval on that tonight.
Will they get a cheaper rate because of the increased volume?
Correct. There's 30 some schools in the SIEC. And we pay to be a membership of that. There's a little bit extra on top of this to be a member of the cooperative purchasing agreement. But that's the idea, is that 30 schools have more buying power than one.
I noticed that. Look at it into the bread and milk food.
Yeah.
I thought that was
And we actually
a
joined.
relevance thing?
Huh?
Is it a relevance thing? Makes them more relevant?
Like with bread, it's hard for us to get a bread vendor down
I
here.
know, where we get one bid.
We get one bid. Yeah. So at least
One
this
bid.
this opens up, more opportunities for us, I think.
Bigger market.
Bigger market. We actually join the West Central one too, because they do buses. When we go and spec out a new bus, all we have to do is tell them how big we want and all that. They've already got the bids and we just go that way. That way we don't have to bid out buses and do all that. Just makes life a little bit easier for everybody. So ask for your permission to move forward with that.
I have a motion.
Motion to move forward. Purchase membership.
Ross. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Sammy J Studio Building Use Request.
Sammy J is ready for another dance recital on May the 31st. That's the weekend after graduation, so no conflict there. Already verified that with Mr. Ramsey. They are for profit, so they would be charged rental fees. And we ask for your approval on that tonight.
Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve Sammy J Studio.
Any discussion?
What if we had to move graduation? You don't think it's going to happen?
No, we're not going to let that happen.
I know we had one snow and hopefully it's over, but I mean,
60 degrees for the next 2 weeks. We're going to roll with it, Larry. I'm hoping that if we do have to do anything, we can still hold graduation on that day.
because then we have the synchronous days that we can use.
Correct. If we have to. If we have to, we've got synchronous options.
Anything else? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Peter Pro feeder program building use request.
I combined two requests actually in this one, since they're both our feeder programs. We've got junior high club ball requesting access to the field in the Red Barn for spring, and then baseball and softball leagues requesting March 7th for signups. Both of those have provided the certificates of liability insurance. So ask for your approval.
I have a motion.
Make a motion that we support both building use requests.
Any discussion? There's none. All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
the motion carries 5-0. State of emergency snow day.
So Monday of 2 weeks ago, when Perry County was shut down, staff that typically report were told to stay home. When we do that, we pay them. The auditors have suggested the board approve that because travel was not recommended at that time. We didn't want anybody to be dangerous. Also within that, we have a contract with Amos Transportation for 180 days of transport. 5 of those aren't going to happen now because we had 3 asynchronous days, and then the 2 days that we canceled transportation but had school open. So I'm asking the board to basically codify those payments to those individuals. So you're looking at custodial staff that would typically come in, the head secretaries of the buildings that typically would come in. Those are the people who would get paid if we don't have a makeup day and we're paid to stay home.
We've always done this in the past for all of them whenever we had a state emergency.
Correct. If there's a state of emergency, we have always paid our employees to stay home because we tell them to stay home. It's not that they didn't try to come to work, it's we told them not to.
I have a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the paying those people for the state emergency snow days.
Thank you, Larry. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying
Aye.
the motion carries 5-0. Such other business as may come before the board.
Just a couple of things. In your packets, I included the tax rates for Perry County. This is the certified auditor's rates. Again, Tell City is very fiscally responsive and has the lowest tax rate of the schools in Perry County, so I'm very proud of that. And keep in mind, we're doing that while we're building the box. So I'm happy with our financial side on that. But you can look through that. It's got a lot of interesting information in it. Speaking of the Ox Gym, don't forget next Tuesday we've got a work session with UDA. They're pretty sure they're going to be able to button things up. I walked through with the guys today again for another couple of hours. We took some measurements. We're looking at some of the different hallways. Last week we met and looked at a lot of finishes. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. It really is. You guys are going to be impressed. It's exciting. It really is.
The work session will be here, or
Work session will be here. Yeah, we have to live stream it.
I think they'll be done enough that we can actually ask for bids the next.
I would think that we're going to be putting it out to bid right around March, which is what somebody said, even though somebody else was a little, let's see what that, we won't get into that though. Last but not least,
Christmas.
moving on.
Worry about Christmas.
Just an update. I actually got a lot of feedback on our creative steps that we took last week, Monday and Tuesday, and positive. I think people realize that being out of school for that long is not the best option for a lot of our kids. A lot of our parents, need to go back to work, and they rely on us for that. A lot of our students rely on us for food, for mental supports and social supports. And we ran just short of 70% attendance. And in the middle of cold and flu season, when it's normally 80, 85, I don't think we did a bad job. Now, it's not something that I want to do a lot, but in a pinch like we were, where main roads were clear and you could get here pretty quick and easy, I got a lot of compliments for being a little bold. So I want to pass that along to you.
I noticed one of our, at Holmesboro Catholic, which has one of our former graduates of Tell City, did the same thing later in the week.
Yeah. And,
Holmesboro refused to go back last week at all.
well, I found something out. I had somebody send me a page for one of the Kentucky schools that said they should follow our lead. Apparently in Kentucky, you have to bus. That's not a law in Indiana. So they're behind that 8 ball that says if you can't bus them all, you can't come in. Owensboro Catholic doesn't have to follow those because it's a Catholic school. So they did do what we did. So sometimes it's not a bad thing to be the first person to do something.
We're out of school for 2
Yes.
weeks.
2 whole weeks without school is, yeah.
Too long.
Yeah. I don't mind a synchronous day here and there. I don't mind an asynchronous day here or there. But when we're out for a whole week, we have to be back in school. And we could. It was safe for people to get their kids here. So, like I said, thank you for allowing me to do that. Yeah, like I said, I haven't gotten a complaint yet. There were people that had questions, you know, why did we allow athletics to go out Saturday? Because the main roads were clear. We told the parents, if you can get your kids here, we'll send the bus to Springs Valley. We'll send the bus to Southridge. Those highways were clean, so that's why we did it. Yeah. So
I got a question on busing, and I explained to them in the state of Indiana, busing is privilege.
Right.
There's no right to public transportation in schools. So the person took it hard. I said, we don't make the rules.
Mhm.
We live by it. They understood once.
Yeah.
They explained to them.
well, I still say you have the option. I would rather a parent have an option, bring their student, or if it's not good where they're living, you know, I'm sure we had people that couldn't get out. If it's not safe, don't come out. That's a decision any parent can make any given day. We just kind of codified it for them. So,
I think putting the ball in the parents' court was a big win.
yeah,
For sure.
Yep. Not to say I wasn't nervous when I hit that post, but it went all right. So,
And then nothing else, I mean, looked like the feedback from the city was good.
yeah, the mayor and I are going to talk a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is take our bus routes to him, and maybe we can get some of those secondary streets made a priority for the city, and then we could do a snow route in town if we need to. That was one question I kept getting. Why don't we have snow routes? Snow routes aren't typically done in towns. They're done in county roads that, you know, we can't really travel. So Chris and I have talked a couple of times. We're going to get together once things settle a little bit. I'm going to take him a map of our current routes. And if we can find some spots, it's hard to pick up on 12th Street because if we do, we stop traffic forever. Same on Tell, same on those high traffic areas. So it's bad to stop the traffic there. It's dangerous for the kids, and then everybody gets frustrated and annoyed. So if we can get a couple of the side streets cleared off where we could make runs, that's going to help. So we are going to talk.
There's nothing else. This meeting's adjourned. You need to sign your papers.
How long does it take?